read the title. Yes, it is as simple as that. It literally is as simple as you having a dad bod is a huge reason why you're having a hard time in the dating market. And a lot of guys try to blame it on their height. A lot of guys try to blame it on their face, lack of jawline. Now let's get one thing straight. Do women have preferences for height and face? Sure. Well, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys and say that that's completely out of the equation. I'm not going to tell you guys that that's not something that women look at, because they do look at height and they do look at your face, yada, 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 bada bing, bada boom. They do look at all of those things. But if you have that nice physique, that shit is going to override a lot of things. Believe it or not, because there's a lot of tall guys out there that don't get any play, right? If it was all about height, we would not have tall guys struggling with dating. Okay. There's plenty of tall guys out there who contact dating coaches who have to get help because they're having a little bit of problems. And like I said, hey, look, yes, women are gonna look for height and stuff like that, but that's not the end all be all. And a lot of guys that are taller, sometimes they have awkward personalities, which is a whole different set of issues. But for the most part, man, if you have a nice physique, you got a good physique, that is going to override a lot of shit. Because when a woman sees a nice physique, she's gonna be turned on. Now, most guys, though, unfortunately, have dad bods. Now, what is a dad bod really? There's been a lot of Long John said clean shave. Thank you, sir. A lot of there's a lot of iterations, um, a lot of explanations of what a dad bod is. Me personally, how I would describe it, it's pretty much a big stomach, very pudgy. Okay. The normal, I mean, the average person, pudgy stomach, bigger breasts for a man. I mean, it's kind of common sense. I think we're all on the same page here. And most guys, including myself, at some point had this type of stellar physique. Okay. A lot of us had this stellar man boob, flabby, jelly roll type of physique. And believe it or not, you can believe this or not. You could keep going back to the whole sending love from Tennessee. What's up, Tennessee, Southern girl? Shout out to the South. I'm getting rid of my dad bod this summer. Retired J Rex. Yeah, so believe it or not, a lot of people, especially a lot of men, when you tell them this, when you're like, hey man, a lot of your dating problems or a lot of your problems in life in general are due to your physique and lack of discipline that follows that. They're gonna say, nah, it's not that, that's ridiculous, blah blah blah. I'm here to tell you, man, it's hey, look, it's not the end all be all, because I'm gonna clear it out the way real quick. Even guys with fit physiques, some of them struggle too because they have awkward ass personalities. But the thing is, they had a shot. They at least had a chance, but they fucked it up. Okay? They fucked it up. They had a chance, but the thing about it is they fucked it up. So, that's the case with that. If a guy is in shape, but still managed to fumble, that was a personality flaw. And on top of that, hey, look, sometimes it just doesn't work out. Sometimes you like somebody, sometimes you don't. But a guy with a dad bod, for the most part, he's going to get a lot of duds. He's going to get a lot of times, more times than not, where he's going to get played from women. Okay. Now, here it is. with this whole getting used for validation and attention. The main guys, not the only, but the main guys that get used up for validation, attention, all of that shit like that, are guys that are out of shape and not sexually attractive. Okay. Now, is being sexually attractive and having a fit physique exclusive together? It's not exclusive together, meaning I'm not saying they always go hand in hand, but a lot of times they kind of do, right? And my personal opinion, bro, being out of shape or being in shape and sexually attractive are almost like a horse and carriage type of thing. They just go together, right? Like if we're talking about females, let's just be quite honest. Do you guys know who Precious is? I forgot what her real name is. I forgot what Precious' the actress. Type a 1 in the comment section if you know who Precious is. Because even though I know it and most people know who Precious is, the movie, a lot of people don't, okay? Type a 1 if you know who Precious is. For the most part, her name is Gabriel. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mythical444. Gabriel, her last name is Sidibe or some shit. It sounds African or something like that. Gabriel Sidibe, whatever. I know beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but goddamn me, there's not many beholders of her beauty, right? I'm sorry to use her. It's just way too easy. It's just the easiest example I could think of, right? She's severely overweight, okay? She is severely, I like Precious, another fire documentary. Look, Precious was a great movie. That was a great movie. I'm just talking about the actress. I don't see anyone clamoring to be with Precious, right? And look, the number one issue, if you were to ask every single dude out there, why do you not find Gabrielle or Precious, the actress that played Precious, why do you not find her attractive? The number one issue would be her weight, okay? Lizzo, too easy, right? Lizzo, Adele circa 2010, right? You guys remember when she was really overweight? She dropped a lot of weight, and now I wouldn't say she's a baddie, but she looks way better. The number one issue with those actresses, if you were to ask just a random guy, what's the issue is they're big as hell. She is big as fuck. She married, bro. She is married. But hey, look, it's deep. It's deep with that, okay? That girl got a damn check, all right? Love is subjective, but stay with me here. Stay with me. Be Slay Queen, you look like a baddie, girl. What, man? Get these goofies out of here. All right. Ethnicity, Syrian, I'm guessing, Palestinian. Incel talking points. Incels. I'm an incel. I got 3 kids. Stupid ass. See, it's funny when incels call other people incels. That's called projecting. All right. But anyway, dude, an enormous, gross pile of flying feces in your face, dude. My tripod is acting up. Okay. So, let me fix this freaking tripod here. I need to use some of this YouTube money and buy me a new tripod. But why are people hating on you? Dude, it's not just every time I go on a live, there's like losers just trolling comments because they hate their lives. So they got to spread negativity and hate. So don't even worry about that. That happens on every single live. But anyway, yeah, the weight is the number one issue that people have when, if you're going to ask, why don't you find Precious attractive? Same thing with men, okay? If you have a dad bod, dude, that is going to be the number one thing almost every single time that's going to block you. That's going to block you from getting a chick that you find attractive, or that's going to block you from having a successful dating or marriage life. Even to my guys that want to get married, hey, look, guess what, man? If the chick that you're going to be with, you're going to be locked down with her for life, right? Don't you think she wants to get her world rocked? And a lot of guys, they when they think of marriage, man, they leave that sexual part kind of astray, when it's really one of the most important things when it comes to relationships, right? One of the most important dynamics is the sexual chemistry in relationships. That's why many relationships fail. And a huge part is that I'm not only picking on my guys, but this is a male channel, and females are going to do what they're going to do. But to my fellas that are listening, this is something that you can hold yourself accountable, right? And plus, you being in shape is going to give you a lot of power. You having that sexual aura and presence and discipline at that is going to give you a lot of power. But a lot of guys let themselves go. Don't get it twisted. A lot of these wives let themselves go too. They just stop giving a shit. But I'm talking to my fellas because there's no reason for me to try to talk to females, right? I'm talking to my fellas because this is something that'll help you guys out if you listen to it. But a large reason, man, is because the guy starts letting himself go. And a lot of guys just think, oh, it's not important, if I just sit down and watch games, I just sit down and watch football, eat my hot wings, eat my Doritos, and just keep gaining weight progressively through the years. She's not gonna notice that. That's not gonna matter. Let me tell you something, man. It matters way, way more than you think. It's just like, let me mansplain it, right? Let me mansplain it. What if you had a wife, when you met her, she was foxy. She was a foxy little thing, right? She was a cutie with a big booty. You marry her or you get in a relationship. Years and years pass by. And I know women gain a couple of pounds with kids, okay? I'm not going to argue there. But all that aside, she gains like 50 extra pounds or 40 extra pounds. You don't think there's going to be something that is like, that you really notice? Like, stop lying, bro. Tarek, what's your main principle in staying in shape? What are your non-negotiables? Number one, first and foremost, before exercise, yes, I'm putting this before strength training, is your diet. Diet, diet, diet. What you eat is how you're going to look like, okay? If you eat lean ground beef, if you eat ribeye, you eat salmon, broccoli, blueberries, blackberries, peach, squash, that's what your physique is going to look like, nice and fresh. Now, if you're eating Doritos, if you're eating cheesecakes, cheeseburgers, sloppy nachos, sloppy enchiladas, that's what your body's going to look like, right? And I would say, because I've talked about this before, a lot of guys that go to the gym still have dad bods, okay? A lot of guys that go to the gym still have dad bods. It's like they're on the right track, but they're veering off the tracks, okay? Because they still have dad bods. They go to the gym and they still have dad bods. Why is that? Because their diet is ass. As soon as they leave the gym, they're going to happy hour, especially on the weekend, especially weekend warrior type of shit. As soon as they leave the gym, they're going to happy hour. They're going to go to bars. They're going to get tore up. My Ninja Tarek. What's up, JC? So, yeah, diets. Y'all are funny as hell. Diet is key, right? Diet is key. And hey, look, a lot of guys are going to be in these spaces, you know, they come to my channel or they go to other dating or red pill channels. I've been called a red pill channel. Hey, look, if that's what you want to think, I don't think I am personally, but some people might classify me as that. But they go to red pill channels and fitness channels, and then they'll be like, oh, that's not what matters. Fitness doesn't matter, and I don't care about females. Well, really, why the hell are you watching these videos then, right? Because you just kind of told on yourself. You saying you don't care means you care. Let's just be honest. That's why you're looking at dating videos and shit like that, right? So, yes, your physique is a huge, huge portion of that sexual aura that's going to get you good results in dating. Or if you want to get married, even if you want to get married. That's why a lot of guys, unfortunately, they get cheated on, okay? And before someone says it, I already know, incoming, I see this from a mile away. Even fit guys get cheated on. Yes, this is true. I'm not going to argue this. But here's two things with that, right? Here's two things. Let me read this comment first. Peter Morton said, are people really that stupid? Who drinks while on this mission? Dude, a shit ton of people. A shit ton of people that go to the gym drink. If I were to go to my local gym and I did like a survey and I asked 20 people in the gym that I go to, hey, do you drink? Out of 20, I would say like 10 would say yes. Might be a little higher. You know, people in the gym, their diets are ass too. That's why a lot of them look the same year after year. That's why a lot of them are overweight, quite frankly, right? But what the hell was my point? What was I getting at? Then they shouldn't complain about slow growth or body fat. Yeah, of course they shouldn't. Depending on your mindset when it comes from fitness is what's going to make or break you. Facts, wild card. Because when you start thinking, by the way, let me go check on my damn broccoli real quick. Yeah, set the broccoli on low. Yes, sir. Walk it like I talk it, man. And a lot of dudes, bro, they're out here. Yeah, so what I was saying is about the whole getting cheated on thing. So the guy with the dad bod, first of all, even though guys that are lean get cheated on or guys that are in shape get cheated on, the guy with the dad bod is like twice as likely. Yeah, now you could think this is a bullshit statistic. Go ahead, try your luck. But the guy with the dad bod is twice as likely to get cheated on. Okay? Twice as likely. Not saying that guys that are fit don't get cheated on. Please do not say that in a comment section. I fucking know that. As a matter of fact, I've seen it before. Okay. And I mean, the guy got his lick back. He cheated back to different story, right? Different story. But the guy with the dad bod, when he gets cheated on, which is twice as likely, him finding another option is going to be hell. Okay. It's going to be hell for him to find another mate. It's going to be hell for him trying to find another relationship or a fling, blah, 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 unless he just outright pays for it. Okay. Now let's say, or if he just, because I know another argument, oh, big guys got swag and they have a mouthpiece and cool. We'll say that after a billion fucking tries that he has to work twice as hard for. Okay. But, you know, I'll give the benefit of the doubt for the whole mouthpiece bullshit. But a guy that's in shape, that is lean, he gets cheated on. Is it going to hurt? Sure. Is he going to have a much easier time getting somebody else? Absolutely. Because that discipline that he has from his diet, that discipline he has from hitting the gym, from going to work, it carries over to everything else. So in his mind, he's like, you know what? Shit sucked. I got cheated on. But hey, look, just like I got her, just like she was sexually attracted to some extent, I know someone else is. And he's going to be able to pick back up with relative ease compared to a guy with a dad bod. He might be on a drought for months or years unless he just pays for it in one way or another, right? The guy with the dad bod, the guy with this lean or fit, just like he bounced back from having a bad body, or just like he's disciplined with his diet, he's disciplined with his routine, he could be disciplined with carrying on. And plus, a lot of guys that are in shape, they know, even when they're in relationships, just because you're in a relationship does not mean that chicks aren't going to try to flirt with you. As a matter of fact, a lot of these bird brain broads flirt with men that are exclusively in relationships. They actively look for men in relationships on some homewrecker type of shit. That's another story, but yes, this does happen. I'm shocked that this channel has only 15K. That shows that there's still ignorant sips on. I mean, Peter Morton, I see what you're saying. You talking about it's only 15K, but check the stats of how many channels actually have more than 1,000 subscribers. The percentage is like 5%. Okay. Check to see how the percentage of the percentage of videos that have 1,000 views or more. It's like 5 or 10%. So 15K, you're saying it's not much, but a lot of people couldn't do it, right? But I see what you're saying. I appreciate it. Tom Brady got cheated on. Nobody is bigger than the program. Hey, like I said, yup, they get cheated on too. I agree. If you have a belly, I don't believe anything you say. The upper hand that body game has over the regular Joe dudes are rare. Facts. Rare. You do have an upper hand. A woman that don't care. They'll cheat on you with goddamn tripod, with a bus driver. Yep. And she could do that if she wants to. If she wants to cheat with the bus driver, if she wants to cheat with old Joe, I don't know a bus driver named Joe. I'm just saying that sounds like a good bus driver name. Frank. If she wants to cheat with old Frank, the Metro bus driver, we have Metro here in Houston, right? If she want to cheat with old Frank that drives a Metro bus, that's on her. As a dude that's in shape, you're going to come with a little more respect and boundaries for yourself Like I said, because you built that discipline up from working out. You're like, all right, hey, look, you're going to be with Joe. You're going to stick with Frank, and hopefully he could give you free bus rides. And you're going to come out with something better. Okay. Have you heard about vegetables being something humans shouldn't consume because it doesn't compare to meat and nutrients? Dude, I've heard fruit is bad for you, which is complete fucking bullshit because it has antioxidants, anti-inflammatories, gives you energy. So I don't like we've been eating veggies since the beginning of time. I don't know who the fuck said that, but we've been eating plants and vegetation since the beginning of time. We've also been eating meat paws since the beginning of time. And I don't know these wonky um, theories or whatever, like, oh, meat is bad. You know, you got the vegans, meat is bad. You're eating dead meat. And then you got people that say vegetables are bad. That's all bullshit, bro. If it's natural, it's good for the most part. Can I be modded, remove hater comments? You can just tell me if you want me to remove them or not. Jack Black, bro, we ain't giving you money. Who asked for it? Cool. That's cool. The dated doubler. All right, dated doubler. Press 1 if you still here, bro. Working out and getting fit should be for yourself. If someone is going to cheat, that's their own character defect. Facts. That's how you look at it. Exactly. Exactly. That's how men that have discipline look at it, right? Men that are disciplined and have their physique right, have their sex appeal right. What you're gonna think is that's on her. That's her fault. She fucked up. Greetings from Portland. Tonight eating rice and KFC chicken, non-crispy though, since I'm lean and trying to bulk up. What do you think? Um, I didn't know KFC had non-breaded chicken. You know what? I'm lying because they used to have it back in the day and they took it off the menu because nobody was buying that shit. But the thing about it, guys, you still have to like KFC, even though they have non-breaded chicken and stuff, you still gotta watch out from these restaurants because they use a fuck ton of oil, right? So I'm not saying it's the worst option, but just be careful. It's better if you cook it at home because they use a fuck ton of oils and you just don't know what they put in their meat. Pause. But yes, a guy that is in shape, he's gonna think, hey, look, she cheated on me, but that's on her, right? That's on her. She fucked up. Now, a guy that has a dad bod, he's gonna be like, man, my life is over. Here's what's gonna happen to a guy that is undisciplined with a dad bod that got cheated or broken up with, even. It's gonna get worse. He's gonna spiral out of control, gonna eat worse. And this is, I would say, the average American. Eat worse, spiral out of control, start drinking worse, start going out with his boys to forget about things. We all know what that means. Going out, drinking bullshit, engaging in bullshit activities only to wind up looking worse. And that's what a guy with a dad bod does because in his mind, it's who cares? I might as well just destroy myself even more. My life is effed anyway. This chick cheated on me and they put all of their value in that girl. Right? And that's the thing that ties in for all the guys that say, oh, you should work out for yourself. Of course, obviously, because when you work, when you're lean, when you're fit, when you're disciplined, that's value into yourself. You're putting in value into yourself. So that means you value yourself. It's a mental thing as well. The guy that's out of shape, he's not gonna value himself. He's gonna be like, fuck it. I'm just gonna get bigger. I'm just gonna eat more BS. I'm gonna eat more wings. I'm gonna drink more alcohol, and I'm gonna have my fun. But really, in that process, it's gonna get even worse. He's gonna have an even harder time finding a chick because he's digging himself into a fucking shit show. I've seen many people from high school fall victim to dad bods. Sarah Mahmood. Ah, man. I think no lie. I go on Facebook I'm 36, right? So all the guys that I know from high school are fucking in their 30s. Obviously, the people that I know are into their 30s. Okay? And I'm like, bro, these folks let themselves just go, right? They just let themselves go. There's a YouTuber that goes by the Ape Father. He lost his wife and mom 2 weeks apart last year. Since then, he's been love con 3 times. A perfect example. Man, that's tragic. Prayers out to him. That's terrible. 36, my dude looking like he's in his late 20s. Appreciate it, bro. See, that's what fitness does. Fitness is the fountain of youth. Okay? Fitness is literally the fountain of youth. Right? And a lot of guys that hit the wall, because if you watch these red pill channels and manosphere channels, they'll always be like, women hit the wall. And I've seen a fuck ton of men hit the wall too. I've seen a shit ton of men hit the wall. Right? A whole bunch. Like I said, I look at my high school friends and I'm just like, dude, I'm so glad that shit. And a lot of them have trouble with their spouses. Say if you're at a steakhouse, Outback or Longhorn, what are you getting for optimal nutrition? Well, when I do go out, I look for lean options. Like yesterday, I went to a Middle Eastern restaurant, an Arab restaurant. I ate like the chicken kebab, grilled chicken kebab, and beef kebab, right? I didn't eat any rice because there was none there. We got like a whole family portion. So everybody was pigging out with all the people. I was just observing them eating pita bread and gorging themselves. And this lean lifestyle, bro, you really have to be disciplined. Now, let me answer your question for Longhorn. I would get a 6-ounce ribeye or sirloin. Sirloin is super. I think the leanest cut of beef is sirloin, right? Lean as fuck. Ribeye tastes super good, a little more on a fattier side, but if you track your macros, you should be fine, and if you don't go over. So I would get a sirloin or a ribeye, some steamed veggies, and maybe a side of mashed potatoes for carbs, right? Now, like I said, or like a little side of rice, okay? Fellas, you got to listen to this man. He is very handsome, knows his stuff. Thank you, Sarah. Sarah Mahmoud, I'm guessing you're Arabic. Especially when I see my old Wildcat said, especially when I see my old high school crush, she kind of let herself go. A lot of these young ladies let them, like I said, fellas, I'm not picking on you guys as men, but this is to help you guys out, right? Me saying women hit the wall, a lot of them hit the wall after high school. Who the hell is that helping, right? That would just be me talking shit. This is to actually help somebody out. Somebody might find this shit useful to my fellas, okay? Now, if I'm at a restaurant, Outback, that's what I would get. Like a little side of mashed potatoes and like a side of steamed veggies, okay? Or a little side of rice and steamed veggies and a steak. Bam. Lean ass meal. The problem is there's two problems when you go out. Let me see this hidden message. How many bodies have you buried? A couple of them. I remember in high school, bro, there was this fine Hawaiian girl. 15 years later, she's a freaking cow. Yeah, dude, a lot of them fall victim to that. I buried 4 last year. Withered Bonnie. Hey, don't play like that online, because I swear to God, I've seen a crap ton of serial killer documentaries, and I don't know how many of them the killer admitted online that he buried people. So I wouldn't joke about that with Withered Bonnie. You trying to be funny. FBI, come get Withered Bonnie. I'm gonna check on my broccoli real quick. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my broccoli is officially done. They were dogs, idiot. Don't try to switch it up. You got scared. She got scared. He or she got scared. But anyway, the problem with eating at restaurants, there's two problems with eating at restaurants. Even if you eat relatively healthy, right? She or he, I don't give a fuck what you are, right? Anyway, there's two problems with eating at restaurants. Number one is that they use a crap ton of butter and oil. That's number one. So let's say you go to Outback and you order a 6-ounce sirloin. Great, sirloin, awesome. Ribeye, I got a freezer full of ribeye that I freaking abuse, right? I love my steaks, I love my chicken, I love my beef, right? But even at a restaurant, you order sirloin, they're gonna use a crap ton of butter, a crap ton of oil, right? Crap ton of butter and a crap ton of oil. So that's first. Second, when you're at a restaurant, see, I'm not trying to sit here and say I'm the most disciplined man, or like I got the discipline of a monk or anything. But when I go to restaurants, I can control myself and not order a big ass plate of nachos. Or if the whole table orders appetizers, for example, I'm not going to indulge. I'm not going to indulge in the queso. I'm not going to indulge in in all that bread, a shit ton of bread and butter. Okay, I'm not going to indulge in I go to Cheesecake Factory. I used to kill those Buffalo Blast Bites. If you guys know what those are, press 1. If you know what Buffalo Blast Bites and Cheesecake Factory is. Fucking delicious. I don't eat them anymore. Unfortunately, most people, as soon as they hit the restaurant and they had it in their mind, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go in there and get grilled chicken and rice. As soon as they look at the menu and see that big ass bacon cheeseburger and fries, all of that goes out the window. All of that shit goes out the window, and they're like, you know what? Let me live a little. Fuck it. I'm getting the triple Crisco bacon cheeseburger. Wildcat. I can't necessarily afford fast food anyway, so I'm pretty much eating chicken breast and mac and cheese. Watch that mac and cheese though. Make sure, guys, look, if you're on this journey and you're serious about this, make sure you're tracking your macros and you're measuring your food. I fucking beg you. Track your macros and measure your food. Because if you're just eating like mac and cheese, for example, like, oh yeah, I'm just going to put, which I wouldn't even suggest you eat on a regular basis. That would be something you eat every once in a fucking month or once in a blue moon. All right. Me personally. And I don't know how you look, wild card, M1K3. I can't really see your PFP because some people, I'm gonna say this off rip. Some people eat like complete shit and can be jacked. And those people are far few in between. Guys, don't fall for it. Those kind of guys are far few in between, right? So if you're gonna sit here and try to eat mad mac and cheese, if you're gonna try to squeeze in cakes and all of that and be like, oh yeah, I'm good, that's up to you, fam. Right? So yeah, yeah, man. And the dudes that have dad bods, if they're, let's say, so let's be real, fellas. When you are out and about, let's be quite frank. We want women to see us as sexually attractive. Let's stop the bull crap. Let's stop the cap. Let's stop the whole, I do this for me and I don't care what women think, which is great. I completely agree with that. But let's be for real, right? Let's be for real. Most guys want women to see them in a sexual light, right? It's true. And a lot of you guys don't know how powerful it is because even in job interviews, even in job interviews, even in dealings with people, they're looking at your sexual attractiveness. Believe it or not. You could believe this or you could not. This has been talked about many times. It's called the halo effect, right? People get treated based on their sexual attraction. Swear to God, this is real. Job interviews, on the job, on the job, whatever the case is, people get treated better for their physical appearance. Is it shallow? It is shallow. It's very shallow. But somewhere deep down that's why in jobs, if people that are overweight, they get passed for promotions, they get passed for certain opportunities, they get disrespected, okay? You feel me? They get disrespected. Why is that? Subconsciously. Now, a lot of people would just say it's because he's big. Yes, that's the surface level explanation of why he's getting disrespected, or she. But deeper than that, deeper than he's just big, is the fact that he doesn't respect himself. That's naturally the order of things, right? If he's big, this subconsciously, as humans, our brains process so fucking much in milliseconds. We just, by looking at someone that is overweight, we just processed that he doesn't take care of himself, he's undisciplined, he doesn't watch what he eats, and he's probably lazy. All of that, we just assess that within milliseconds of looking at this guy. So this is why people that are overweight get treated harshly in dating and in jobs, right? Now let's take a lean person. Let's take a person that's in shape. In a job scenario, this guy is gonna get treated better. He's gonna get better opportunities. He's gonna be trusted more. And if he's going for a job, if he is applying for a job, he's more likely to get hired. Right? He's more likely to get hired because the employer is looking at this guy and he's like, I don't see many fit people. As a matter of fact, most of my employees are fat as fuck. So he's gonna be like, subconsciously, what he's gonna tell himself is, this guy is doing something that's rare. This guy looks like a damn machine. He looks like he could produce. He looks like he could do a good job. So bam, that's how you get hired, right? Even if for the guys that are talking about, oh, I don't want to work for anybody, I want to have my own business. the best advertisement for yourself is to have a fit physique if you want to have your own business, because this is going to help you have credibility, right? This is going to help you have credibility, because deep down inside, when people see an overweight person, like I said, they're going to make a whole bunch of judgments, okay? They're going to make a whole bunch of judgments off rip, right? Same way with dating. As soon as a chick, if it's if a guy is in the mall, or he's in a lounge, or he's in a restaurant, and a guy that's out of shape comes walking in, a lot of those chicks are gonna take one look at him and completely look the other way, off rip, right? Your physique is a billboard. Facts. A guy that's out of shape comes in a sexually charged, I call them sexually charged environments. What are sexually charged environments? It could be a lounge, even restaurants. Okay, I live in Houston, and we have a lot of very vibey, atmospheric restaurants that could really double as a lounge, low key, right? But you walk in a lounge, a restaurant, a club, and you're out of shape, you have a dad bod, I'm telling you, all the chicks, they're gonna look at you for one split second and look the other way, right? Am I saying that this doesn't happen to fit guys? I'm not saying that whatsoever, okay? Not saying that whatsoever. Yes, it happens to fit guys too, because you're not gonna be everyone's cup of tea, fucking obviously. But if a guy that's lean walks in there, a guy that's in shape, smells good, because when you start, fellas, let me tell you something else that happens when you start getting lean and in shape. You start wanting to take care of your appearance, right? You start wanting to take care of your skin, of your nails. A lot of guys got crusty black ass nails, right? Dirt all up under the nails. I'm telling you, when you get lean, you start, it correlates with everything else. Some guys got nails that look like they've been working on a damn car. Let me take out something from the fridge real quick. I'm making dinner, guys, so. Yeah, like I said, a lot of, let me read these comments. Santiago, can I get a shout out? Sarah Mahmood, H-Town, yes ma'am. But yeah, so a guy that's lean, that's in shape, walks into a sexually charged environment, and he's got his grooming up. He's got his clothes fit him just right, right? He's smelling good, because when you take care of one thing, you take care of everything else. When your physique looks great, you're gonna want to put more effort. Tarek, I noticed lean dudes in shape don't have to sell themselves or talk themselves up. It's the best social superpower. Brody King, fat, you don't gotta say shit, right? You don't have to say nothing. And when you're in it, I'll put it to you guys like this, right? Let's say you have an old Honda Civic. Shout out to Hondas, because I drive a Toyota. So no knock on my Japanese cars. They're actually better than American cars, and they're actually elite. But stick with me here. Let's say you have a 95 Honda Civic, right? It's got all its hubcaps missing. It barely starts. You need a new motor. You need a new engine. The bitch don't even start up most of the time. Interior is tore up. The radio doesn't work. Are you gonna put any effort into making it smell nice or look good? You know, the paint is chipped from years of abuse. Are you gonna care? Like, are you gonna try to detail it and take it to a car wash and get it to smell good? Hell nah. You're not gonna give a crap about it. Let's say you have a 2026 Lamborghini or a 2026 Wraith, whatever. fresh, clean, smells like leather, paint job glistening. Are you gonna try to take better care of it, make it smell good, get it detailed, pay $60 for it to get what? Hell yeah, you're gonna put way more effort, right? You're gonna tell people this is a non-smoking car. You can't eat in here. You can't eat your triple cheeseburger in here. Take that bullshit out of here. You can't smoke your weed, your Reggie weed, right? You can't do any of that. Same thing with your physique. Okay, same thing with your physique. If you're in shape, you are gonna have incentive to buy better clothes, to smell better, to look better, to dress better, get your grooming up. Fellas, let me talk grooming 101 real quick. Nails. Make sure your nails are clean. I don't know how many dudes I've seen that look like they just finished working on a fucking Chevy, right? I don't know how many guys I saw, their nails look disgusting. And it's like a hygienic thing on top of that. Yeah, no Reggie weed in the Wraith. Okay, no Reggie weed in a Rolls Royce. Maybe in a Honda Civic, but not in the Benz. All right. Wordplay said, "You ever play hide and seek with 300-pound woman in a dark room?" Back in my day, I took down a whale or two. You know what I mean? Back in my younger years, I speared a whale or two. I think we all have, fellas. Okay, don't sit here and act like you never took down a BBW, right? Don't act like you never took down a big woman. So, you're gonna put more effort into yourself when you're lean, when your physique is on point. So when you're walking into that room, let's say you're going into a restaurant or a lounge, you're walking into that lounge, you're on point. You're getting females looking at you left and right. They're checking you out. They're whispering to their friends. Hell, they might even approach you. Right? They might even approach you. Mythical. Nah, I never went whaling. Yeah, man, not everyone has. Hey, look, I was young, you feel me? And I was drinking alcohol. So Oprah looked like Beyonce for one night. But it never lasted because obviously, like I said, physique plays a major role. So for the guys that are talking about, yeah, I be smashing girls and I'm big and stuff. Well, they probably just the same thing that we do as men sometimes, women do too, right? They didn't have any other option and they're like, whatever, I'll let this big dude smash. I don't know the whole layout. There's different nuances, but a dude that's in shape, as soon as you walk into that room, you're going to be getting stares. You're going to be getting looks. Females might come up to you. And yes, this does happen. Does it happen often? No. But when you get in shape, you double your chances of women coming up to you or flirting with you. Okay? Tarek, will you bulk this winter like a lean bulk? At some point, I'm going to take the calories up gradually. Now, let me get on this bulk business real quick, right? So, somewhere down the line in the fitness community, bulking meant eating Five Guys burgers with a supersized French fry and then washing it down with Coke and all of this goofy shit. Only for the dude to get just plain out fat. Now he's got to work that fat off. And his bulk was really just him pigging out, right? What a lean bulk is, what a real bulk is first you cut down your weight, right? So a couple months ago, I was 220 pounds. Now I'm 167 pounds for reference, right? So I got a few more weeks of cutting. Soon as I get to that final cut, I start increasing my calories gradually. But I'm not eating no fucking Five Guys. I'm not gonna eat a big sloppy nacho. I'm not stuffing my face with a tub of ice cream. Okay? All bulking is the right way is eating a little more of the right food. Right? So maybe I was eating 100 grams of sweet potatoes. Now I'm eating maybe 150 with every meal. Okay? Maybe I was eating half a cup of rice. Now in a meal, I might eat a full cup. Or if I'm eating 5 ounces of ground turkey for every meal, I might put it up slightly more to like 7 or something like that. That's what a lean bulk is. It's not eating donuts and In-N-Out and making a stupid ass TikTok video. Okay? Just saying, a little variety in a diet don't hurt. Yes, sometimes. Guys, you got to be careful with eating bullshit food. Okay? You got to be careful. Am I saying that I don't dibble and dabble once in a blue moon? And when I say once in a blue moon, guys, I haven't had a donut, because the reason I keep using donuts is because that was my bullshit food of choice. Honey buns and donuts. Okay? Am I saying I'm never gonna? The last time I ate a donut was months ago. Swear to Christ. Miranda, what's up? I just happened to catch a live. First time in a long time. Miranda. Well, I appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you for the support. Give it a thumbs up if you would like. Feel me? Sarah Mahmood. They thought they were Sam Sulek or Bradley Martin. Yeah, and those dudes are roided up. That's the reason they can get away with eating like that. And Sam Sulek, bruh, the way he eats shows up on his skin, right? The way he eats, look at this guy's skin. It's red and inflamed. He's got big ass bumps, pimples everywhere. And just like that whole big, bulky, super puffy, inflamed look is just, my ladies, look, ladies in the chat room, tell me if I'm wrong, right? That whole puffy, bulky, steroidy look, that's not really what y'all are going for. You guys would prefer a dude that has muscle tone and is naturally muscular, has a solid physique and is muscular, that looks natural, right? Correct me if I'm fucking wrong. Think of Brad Pitt and Fight Club. That's the most popular example, okay? Think of Brad Pitt and Troy or Fight Club. Most popular example that I think most people know. Tarek, we weren't referring to food. We was talking women. Oh, I went way off track. Yeah, hey, if we're talking variety in women, yeah. Hey, look, man, I'm married. I love my beautiful wife. When I was single though, your boy did not discriminate. I'll put it to you like that. They call me Mr. International like Pitbull. Okay. Anyway, Miranda said, I remember back when I was working fast food, I was mixing sodas and my face was breaking out and stuff. That scared me off and made me go water only. I was gaining weight and it scared me into fitness. Dude, fitness will even change your skin. It'll even, if you have breakouts, if you got pimples, that is all that food, that bullshit oil that a lot of people consume. That's all that processed food. It'll leave your face and your skin red and inflamed. When you switch to a natural diet, when you start going natural lean ground meat, steaks, ribeyes, broccoli, squash, zucchini, raspberries, and you start dropping that fat, you look younger, right? Morning Peacock said, I am 22, never had a girlfriend before. Am I cooked? Ooh. You might be, bro. Nah, I'm just playing. No, definitely not. Definitely not. 22, you're still a fucking kid, dude. Morning Peacock, what kind of music on your workout playlist? Boosie and Webby are my dog. Boosie and I used to jam the shit out of Boosie and Webby, man. I used to jam the shit out that Savage Life, Webby, and the boy Boosie. Yeah, I used to jam the shit out of Lil Boosie and Webby back in the day. That's some real southern stuff. I think my favorite, what was that song? Damn, I had a couple of Boosie and Webby songs. Hey, them two as a tag team were crazy. Boosie and Webby. What was my favorite song? I had a couple of them. That 612s, that was Webby. That Fuck You with Webby and Boosie. Yeah. UGK. Yep. Texas shit. UGK. That diamonds against the wood. That's my shit. That High Life. That one day you're here, next day you're gone. That's my shit. Distant Lover was underrated. That was Boosie. Distant Lover. Man, Wayne. Distant Lover. Yeah. Anyway, but on my gym playlist, guys, you're gonna be surprised when I say this. But when I go in the gym, I'm raw dogging. I'm not lit. I don't have ear pods in. I'm straight raw dogging. But goulash, big old log. Pause. Anyway, but on my playlist, and I'm a little older, guys, so bear with me. Jeezy, DJ Screw sometimes. I like Ransom. That's some East Coast shit. I like Joey Badass. I like West Side Gun. You guys mess with West Side Gun. I like a lot of East Coast stuff too. Ransom. You guys don't know nothing. I don't even think most people know who Ransom is. Boldy James, Lloyd Banks. Some of you guys know, some don't. I was gonna say you are like 45, 55. Yep. You're right. I'm actually 75. But, yeah. That's Scarface. Scarface, I used to jam the shit out of Scarface. I used to jam that Diary album. That Hand of a Dead Man. Or that I never seen a man cry till I seen a man die. Which doesn't make sense, but yeah, it does. I'm tripping. But yeah, that's my playlist. I got Project Pat. I fuck with Project Pat, that Mr. Don't Play, favorite album. Most Def, don't really listen to him too much. Kendrick, he's okay. Schoolboy Q, don't really listen to him either, for real. 94 Scarface, love the Diary. Yup. Texas shit. Diary. The Diary was a classic album by Scarface. Real deep, kind of depressing, but deep. You're a funny guy, man. When I'm at work listening to your content, those little dry jokes have me weak. That's good. I remember when Nussie came out to irritate Boosie, yeah, and he got killed for it. Outkast, I fuck with Outkast. That Miss Jazzy Bell, Spotty Odie Dopalicious. Man, this is turning into a music session. That's another passion I have is music. On top of fitness. But all right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like on the way out. Peace.